In this video, I'm going to help you with your homework, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to use the graphing calculator or just regular calculator feature that's on your DeltaMath homework. If you click this little arrow down, it actually does give you two options for other calculators, but the actual button itself, which I will use in a couple of minutes, will be sufficient enough to help you with your homework. So if you don't have a graphing calculator at home, this is why I made this video. Okay, let's solve the question. So it says in triangle GHI, side G is 240 centimeters, angle H is 157, and angle I is 17 degrees. And it says to find the length of H to the nearest tenth of a centimeter. Okay, so I have my document camera. We're going to go ahead and start by setting this up. And on our triangle, which is not given, we have to create one. Doesn't matter really how your triangle looks, just create a triangle. I need to label my GHI sides, or angles. So here's G, here's H, here's I. I'm just going to go in a circle labeling G, H, and I. From here it said little g is 240. Okay, let me find out first where is little g. Little g is directly across from big G. Little h is directly across from big H. Little I is directly across from big I. So here's your G, H, and I, the lowercase letters. So we're going to take little g, which is 240. We're going to take angle H, which is 157. And we're going to take angle I, which is 17. We've plugged everything in. What I need to do is I need to figure out what is side H. So what is this? First thing I want to do is make sure that I can use law of sines. The issue is, based on how my triangle is drawn, we did everything correctly. I'm missing something. Because remember, we talked about this in class. Directly across your side or your angle should be a side length, the given side length. Well, let me look. Right across from this angle, there's no side length. Right across from this angle, there's no side length. Okay, so I need to figure out what to do first. So, if you hopefully are thinking of your triangle sum theorem, that's the first thing you're going to need to do. So we need to take angle G plus angle H plus angle I and set it equal to 180. So we're going to take G, which is unknown, plus 157 plus 17 and set it equal to 180. You don't need any fancy calculator for that. You can just use your brain. If you add those, you're going to get 157 plus 17. It's going to give you 174. And whoops, that is angle G. From here I'm going to solve angle G by subtracting. So 180 minus 174 is going to give you 6. So this angle up here is 6 degrees. Okay, cool. Now that I have that labeled, I can say that angle G has a side directly across from it. And this is in centimeters. So I'm going to go ahead and write this out. I'm just writing out my problem to solve. So we're going to take sine of 6 degrees over 240, sine of 157 degrees over H, and sine of 17 degrees over little I. I need to figure out what to solve. Well, we talked about this in class. If you're solving for H, little h, we're going to use both of these. I would definitely recommend using the ratio that's actually complete. So I'm going to go ahead and solve before I start using my calculator. H times sine of 6 degrees is going to equal 240 times sine of 157. I'm going to divide both sides by sine of 6 degrees. And technically, this is your exact form. Remember how I told you guys in class that it's easy for you to write this in exact form because you know exactly what the answer will be if you plug it in your calculator? Well, if you want to wait till you come to class, you at least have this written out. If you actually take the information here and you actually find the H value, we can use our calculator in DeltaMath. So in DeltaMath, I'm going to go ahead and use the calculator button, and I'm going to type in what we had on our paper. So I'm going to make my fraction first, the division sign, and I'm going to go ahead and plug everything in. We have 240 times sine. Let me see where sine is. We have functions. Here's sine. And we're going to put in 157. Let me go back. 157. And I'm going to scroll down to my denominator, and I'm going to type in sine of 6. So back to functions, sine, go back, 6. And we're going to hit enter. Our decimal is 897.1 because down here it said round it to the nearest tenth of a centimeter. So I'm going to write it on my paper, even though you probably won't see the paper anymore after this. This is in centimeters. I'm going to go ahead and type that in for my answer, 897.1. So let me scroll down here. You can technically hit the X button, but since I have it, I want to make sure I write out the exact number, 897.1. That would be your answer. So guys, whenever you're trying to use that calculator feature, just hit the actual button here for your calculator and it will give you that answer. So this is all of the stuff that we just did. That's our answer.